Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 1:33 p.m. and we do have a quorum. Everyone has received the agenda in advance, so I'm going to ask somebody to move to approve the agenda.
I'll approve it.
I second it.
Okay, so that's Diane and Jude. Thank you. Can everybody please just say yay? A yes to the
Yay.
agenda.
Yay.
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 Okay. Let me read this script for remote meetings. Just-
Who's
and also
moving
take-
around?
Yeah, there's some, I'm gonna go through and mute just because we're getting a lot of cross talk here. Okay, try again. Go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, so I have to read this script. As a preliminary matter, I'm Marianne Easley, Chair. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present. So I'm going to do a roll call. Please say here. Allison is not here. Diane is here. Vanessa is not here. Kendra,
Here.
Jude
Here.
is here. Susie is not here.
Here.
Nancy is here. Linda is not here and I am here. So thank you very much.
Just a quick point of order. Susie did sign on while you were doing the spiel.
Oh, so Susie is here. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Susie. And staff members, could you please say yay if you're here? Jericho?
Yay.
Laura?
Here.
Thank you. Good afternoon. This open meeting of the Council on Aging is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Council on Aging is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Okay, that's the script. So the next item is approval of the minutes of the January meeting and of the February meeting, which everybody received in advance. So let's start with the January meeting. Can I have somebody move to approve the minutes of the January
I
meeting?
approve, Susie, I approve.
I
Thank you.
second it,
Second.
Kendra.
Thank you. I just have one comment, and that is that there are a couple of things that are just kind of spelling. So rather than take up everybody's time with them, Diane, I'm going to send you those changes just so they're accurate for the purpose of this public meeting.
And then Diane, could Diane forward those to me so I can upload them onto the website?
I'm sure. Okay.
I will.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah, there are things like PASCON is, she probably just didn't know that PASCON, that letters signifying that. So there's simple things like that. And just because this is a public meeting, I'm going to send those to you, Diane.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have to go down the list of people to approve the minutes of the January meeting. So if you approve, please say yes. Diane,
Yes.
Kendra,
Yes.
Jude,
Yes.
Susie,
Yes.
Nancy? Nancy?
If I'm muted. Okay, yes.
Mary Ann, yes. So those are approved with the changes that I will be sending you. Next item is to approve the February meeting minutes. And can I get somebody to move to approve those?
So moved.
That is Nancy. Thank you.
Yes.
Second,
I'll second it. Kendra?
Kendra, thank you. Again, I'm going to go down the list for everybody's approval of these. And again, there are a few minor things that I'll send you, Diane.
Okay,
So if you approve, please say yes. Diane,
yes,
Kendra,
Yes.
Jude,
Yes.
Susie,
Aye.
Nancy,
Yes.
Mary Ann, yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. Okay, now on to the core of our business today. The first item is the most important one, which is the Seniors of the Year for 2022. And everybody has received some materials from Laura in advance about these. So I'm gonna let Laura give us a summary of what we need to think about. So Laura, it's all yours.
Well, I thought my timeline was the summary. It should
Well,
all be
we like to
basically
hear
up to
from
date.
you.
I'm sorry, you'd like to hear from me?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's time to get on the ball. I had also just sent you, or everybody, and you, Mary Ann, the press release for the INM. And if you would just proofread it, I think I updated everything. So that would be the first thing to do, is to get that out to the INM. I will get it into the newsletter and get it into Daybreak and Current. I will email, I think I emailed everybody the application so they can distribute that however they like. And we just need to get moving on it. Do you have anything specific you would like me to go over, Mary Ann?
No, but I wanted to make sure everybody realizes the timeline for this because there will be some pressure in the next few months. So I wanted to open this for any questions or comments. So anybody who has anything that you want to say about Seniors of the Year for 2022, now is a good time.
Are we looking at some of the runner-ups from last year or not?
I think they all need to be reinitiated. Maybe, I don't know, that's up to you guys. In the past, I don't think we have taken past years people, because we would still have people from 10 years ago that were nominated. So that's up to you guys, how you want to do that. But that's a good question.
Any
You
other?
sent out the other, whatever about walking or raising money and maybe winning $1,000. How does that work? Do we fill in that? Do we find people to?
Well,
Yeah,
we're
I
going to get
also
to
just
that.
sent you.
Yeah, I just like to keep this to the Seniors of the Year because that agenda item is going to come up later, if you don't mind, Susie, okay?
Yeah, let's just stay on topic. What about the, do people vote? I mean, don't people send in their recommendations?
Mhm.
And then we look at, have we gotten those? No.
No, we need to announce and put in a press release to the INM and announce it in the newsletter and on Nantucket Current and Daybreak, and make sure that the applications are out there in the community, and then have them get them back to me. And then, as I did last year, whatever was forwarded to me, I forwarded to you all, so you could read them all and discuss them during your meetings.
So what you're asking now is if we're changing anything about the announcement, the press release?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm asking anything. Somebody did
Oh.
up, are you using applications from last year? I don't know that. Usually it's a fresh batch each year.
I would
But
use, I would
Change
just,
that.
yeah, I would just call 2022 its own year and just redo it again, and people that, there might be new people and there might be enough
Right.
for the others, but I think, not going into the backlog and just have it a whole fresh new year.
Mhm. And Marianne, if you would just proofread everything that I sent you, the application, the press release, et cetera. And then if you could get the press release out to the INM, I will do the rest of it. You guys just have to sit tight, get the word out there, pass out the applications to other people to get it out in the community. And then it all comes back to me and then you make your decision in 2 months.
Laura, I read all the stuff that you sent us, which was great. But it just refreshed my memory. What is the deadline? Was there a deadline
The
for
deadline
application
for the nominations is
for the
from
nominations?
April 29th.
April 29th. Thank you.
Okay.
Because you guys are voting on it on your May, in your May
Right.
meeting, which is the 4th.
Okay.
That's the deadline at 1 o'clock, and then I would just email the last few to you guys, so you had all of them, and then you will vote on them on May 4th. So you guys don't
Thank
really
you.
have to do anything, just get it out into the community that it's time and we need some nominations.
A quick question. What are we going to do with the 2021 folks? Are we going to acknowledge them in any way, or is that something that's just over and done with?
No, I think we should do like,
You're muted, Kendra, you're muted.
sorry, 2020 and 2021 need to be acknowledged at some, I mean, isn't it 2 years that we weren't able to give them their due, you know, their honor, so to speak?
Well, we
in
didn't
public?
have any public recognition for 2021.
Right.
We didn't even have a vote in the previous years. So it's only last year's winner.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can tell you that NCEA is planning on a big shindig for the reopening of the Salt Marsh, which is in the next couple of months. And they agreed that that would be a good time when they're having an actual event to recognize the 2 seniors of the year for 2021. That means there would be a gathering and we could recognize them in a public way. So that's one thing.
And then save the 2022 for the luncheon that we would normally have.
Correct,
So they
Correct.
wouldn't piggyback on each other, right?
correct.
Because I think it's necessary to make them completely 2 different entities, so.
Sure.
Well, I think that's a great idea to wait for the Salt Marsh grand opening and acknowledge them then. And then I move to do that, and I move to that we have the separate lunch for the 2022 seniors.
Is this something you'd like to vote on?
I didn't know if we needed to vote.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we need to vote. And I'm not sure that we need to vote on whether to include some of the people who should have been considered for 2021. Just because people's lives might have changed, some of them might have even moved off island. We never know. I think we need to keep this clear, just, you know, start anew with this year as we have done in every past seniors of the year.
Marianne, are you going to have a website available like we did last year to nominate people online? That was very convenient for a lot of people rather than to have to mail it in or other ways of doing it.
So that's a question for Laura.
What do you
The
think, Laura?
mechanics.
I saw that I did that. I have. to-
Yes.
how I did that, and with the URL code, you mean, Nancy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, yeah, I have to do a little research. And that was a few years ago. But I can get that done.
Any other comments or questions on the topic of the 2022 seniors of the year? Okay, thank you, Laura. I think it's
welcome.
going to start, and I just want to tell everybody how important the May meeting of the Council on Aging is going to be. We absolutely have to have a quorum or we are not going to be nominating seniors of the year. So put the May meeting on your calendars, please. The next agenda item is the status of the 2 grants that the Council on Aging has received. And I will give you an update on both of those. First on the grant for home modifications for seniors, which is moving at a snail's pace, but I'm happy to say at least it's moving. So we have our first client. The fire department in the last couple of weeks has identified a senior who would like to have a grab bar in her home. So I have not yet contacted her because of course I need to have an approved handyman first, but at least we have our first client moving through the process. And the other thing is the handout that I had everybody give me edits on is at the printer. So that should be done by next week sometime. It's at Poets Corner Press and they'll have it done. And then I'll distribute that handout. I'll give Laura some for the senior center, hoping that people will start to come back in. Some of them will go to Sherry at Elder Services, some to the hospital because they are participating, and finally to the fire department because they're actually going into people's homes and can hand them out to people. So I have a second handyman slowly making his way through the pipeline. So if I don't have even a third one, I think I'm going to put an ad in something. I'm not sure that people even read the newspaper anymore. So I need to find a place to place an ad effectively asking for handymen to apply to participate in this. And for that, I think I'm going to come back to you, Jericho, to get a very specific amount of pay from the town. I know you gave me this chart of pay rates for the town, but I need to know exactly what we would pay a handyman. So that's where home modifications stand. I realize it's going very slowly, but we do have through the end of October to make this thing work. So I feel like probably in the month of March, the thing will actually start to move along and we'll start to actually process some home modifications for seniors so that we can get a few successes under the belt.
Daybreak
does
might be a
anybody
good
have any?
place.
Pardon?
Daybreak might be a place. They might allow you to do something for free on their Daybreak.
Yeah,
It's
thank
quite a
you.
great
Yeah, that's a
radio
good
station.
suggestion. Yeah, good suggestion. Thank you, Susie. Any other questions or comments about home modifications? Okay, I'm going to give an update now on the Caregiver Scholarships, which really has had me stumped. I was very concerned about offering scholarships to caregivers, especially to caregivers who may not have enough money to actually spend the money and then be reimbursed. So I had a conference call with representatives from the Massachusetts Councils on Aging to talk about this with them. And actually it was a very, very useful conversation. And they pointed me in a direction that I think will be very useful for us. And that is, they said, instead of being sort of general and saying, what would you like? We should come up with specific gift certificates and gift cards so that we could advertise a gift certificate to a restaurant, a gift certificate for a hairdresser, or for a massage, or even for Highline tickets, or they even said Stop and Shop would be fine with them. That means how this would work is Laura would receive a request from somebody. Either I would call them back or Allison, as we agreed at our last meeting, discuss with them, first verify that they're a caregiver, discuss with them what they might like to have, but from a specific list of gift cards. And that way we could purchase the gift cards, give it to them immediately, and we would only have to ask for reimbursement from the state for the cost of the gift card. So if a senior got a gift card for $100 and only spent $90, the state doesn't care. They'll reimburse us the whole cost of the gift card at $100. So this makes this whole thing a lot simpler and smoother, I think. And now I think it'll be much easier to promote this, to discuss what people might want, give them what they want, and without feeling that we have to provide everything that satisfies them. And by that I mean, you might get a gift certificate for Highline tickets, but we won't be paying for your taxi ride in Hyannis. That will be your problem. So I think we can actually launch this thing pretty quickly now. So I hope that works for you, Jericho, and maybe even the town would be willing to be just a bypass, because the money will all be reimbursed very quickly. We can just purchase gift certificates as the requests come in, turn it around to get reimbursed by the state very quickly, and we'll get back every dollar without a problem. So I think this was a good idea from them. And I don't know how other people feel about it, but to me, it just seems so much easier than what I was imagining before.
That's a
Just-
great idea.
Yeah, just from a town admin point of view, that will basically deal with any and all of their issues. So basically, I can probably fairly easily convince the town to use portions of my budget to buy a gift card that we immediately get reimbursed for. So it clears up a lot of the administrative troubles on the other side. And the other thing we can do with this gift card thing is, if we get gift cards from local businesses, we can, see if we'll buy X amount of gift card, but as a charitable donation, they may want to match a certain amount of funds or something. So we might even be able to get more money for the people who are doing this than we're actually going to spend out.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, terrific. Well, I'm very grateful to the state for being so helpful in directing me, because this is all new for them as well. So it was their brainstorming that came up with this, and I think it really smoothed the process. And I already have one person who has expressed interest, and I think she would fall into this category of somebody who wouldn't be able to spend $100 of her own money. So now I feel confident to call her back and include her in this program. So that's great too, Beth. Thank you, Jericho.
So we can basically see if there are certain people we know that we feel to do a good job, and just present them to you?
Yes, you would present them to Laura. The only requirement is that they have to be a senior, 60 years or older, and they have to be a caregiver. And a caregiver is somebody who's taking care of somebody of any age who is either ill or has a disability.
Perfect.
So you wouldn't qualify if your 25-year-old son moved into your house and is annoying you. That doesn't qualify.
So I have to let you know that I have to leave here at 2, so I have to go. I have a meeting at 2. So do I need to vote on anything before I depart? Do you have enough people?
I don't think we're going to be having a vote on anything, to tell you, although.
So we don't have nothing that we need to agree on that I can jump ship.
Can you be here
then.
for another 5 minutes?
Sorry?
Can you be here for another 5 minutes?
I can. I have to leave by at least 2:03 because I have to be someplace at
Oh, okay.
2:15.
So if nobody has any further questions or suggestions on caregiver scholarships, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Okay. So this was the MCOA Walk Massachusetts Challenge. So Susie, you had something to say about that.
Yeah, hold on. So no, I was just wondering, I mean, do we get a group of people and the money, we raise money and then we take the walk, and then if we get enough individuals to do it, we win? I was a little confused on that.
I have to say that I don't know the details of this. This was Allison's recommendation. And all I know is what she sent out in those materials.
Okay, I'll look at that.
I was going to say that if we decide to do this, and I think we should have a vote on whether we want to do this or not, it's going to require some effort. It's not just put the ad in the paper and there's nothing else to do. There's always something else to do. So I would like to get a sense of if there are people here who will take on jobs related to this. So I don't know how you feel about that. There's always administrative work to do with something like this, and it requires people to volunteer to be the administrators.
I guess I need to have a little more detail on this before. And of course, we have a very short time, right?
Correct. If people have questions like you, Susie, maybe you could give them to Laura so she can pass them on for answers from Allison. And then we'll see if Allison wants to take this on to handle the administration of it. Because I'm not seeing any raised hands. No volunteers. Are there any
I'm
other
sorry.
comments?
Sorry, I thought that you applied through through Massachusetts and you applied online and that tracks your miles and I'm not quite sure. I didn't see what would we have to do? When you said there were
Well, we need
administrative
to know
jobs.
who from Nantucket is participating. We definitely need to know. And we need to provide a place where people can go with questions. As you can see, we have questions. So individuals will have
Right.
questions as well. So we can't just step to the side and hope it all works.
All right. Okay. I'll have to
And to be
reread the
honest,
stuff.
I haven't read the whole thing. So, I mean, I have questions that way, but I think that Allison can give us some answers too, but I have to reread the directive, but wasn't the whole thing that COA had a group that walked? It wasn't going to just be for or are we going as COA on Nantucket? And then sign in as to the state?
I don't know the answers to all these intricate questions. Only
Okay.
Allison has the answers. So I think we need to kick it back to her and through Laura, have her answer all of us and her decide if she wants to take on the administration of this, which at least involves answering questions from the general public who may want to participate. Is that okay with you?
I'm not going to pull myself out of not doing it. I just need to know some more of the, like the questions that need to be answered by, by Allison. And then also rereading the information. And if it can be done, how it's done. So it's just a big question mark all the way around.
May I chime in?
Yes?
I believe I looked on the website and sent all the information that I thought was pretty pertinent to everybody. And I also sent the website to all of you so you can research it yourself. I also sent an email from Allison, which was probably really about an hour ago that she sent to me that I forwarded to everybody. And that says that there's a press release and everything we need to do. We have to make a flyer to get people engaged. I would like each board member to sponsor someone and think of their contacts who would like to join in and be walkers. I will be happy to work on a flyer and get the stuff in the INM, Daybreak, etc. So she seems to be pretty on board of kind of doing all the paperwork. It's just getting the word out there and getting people to participate. There's 2 links that are on that website that aren't even open yet for people to register because we're not really close enough to it, but people will just register online. So it would go out in a press release from Allison to Daybreak, to the INM, It would go out in my email, and people would just really just click on the link and they would go and register themselves. And then they take care of it all themselves. And I believe Councils on Aging will receive an entry for each person who completes the challenge. So if we get 50 people to complete a challenge, we get an entry. And then one COA will win $1,000 towards future programming. So obviously, the more people we get in the challenge, the more likely we are to win $1,000. I'm not sure that's really the goal. I think it's just more fun. Get the word out there about the Council on Aging, and let's get outside and walk. We have a beautiful island. So if you guys look at all the information I sent you, I think you will be well informed. And it seems that Allison is willing to take up kind of the administrative part, and I will do what I can, with our newsletter and getting the information out. And I'll collaborate with Allison on that.
So do you think should we take a vote on whether or not we should go ahead with this and endorse this project? Does somebody want to make a motion that the Council on Aging get behind this, given that Allison will take the lead and Laura will assist with publicity?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Linda and Nancy, for purposes of the secretary.
I'm sorry, who
Linda-
made, excuse me, who made the motion?
Linda made the motion, Nancy seconded, and now I'll take a
I didn't
vote.
know Linda was here.
I'm hiding.
Okay, we're voting on this motion. When I read your name, say yay or nay. Diane,
Yay,
Kendra,
yay,
Jude,
Yay.
Susie. Pass 203. Nancy,
Yay.
Linda,
Okay,
Mary Ann, yay.
So and
Okay.
can I just request that everybody just check out that website? And even though there's 2 links that aren't open yet, when they are open, then at least it'll be more familiar to you. You'll know how to kind of get your friends involved in it, et cetera, et cetera. The more we know, the more we can share it with everybody.
So Laura, it's for you and Allison to lead us through this process.
You
But
got
thank
it.
you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's helpful. Are there any other comments on this walk, or can we move on to the last item on the agenda? Okay, I actually have nothing to report on the Center for Elder Affairs. I did not attend the meeting, but I read the minutes from that meeting, and I don't think there's anything very new that everybody doesn't already know from Laura's very thorough newsletter. So you all know about the status of the salt marsh and its refurbishment. So that's the biggest news, and the fact that they are planning an event. I don't know if they have a date yet for the event, though. Hello? Laura, do you know if they have a date yet?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were talking to me. No, they definitely don't have a date. We still have some stuff that needs to get done. And Joe actually just emailed me if I had a recommendation on a cleaning company. And I said, there's a ton in the phone book. I don't have a cleaning company. There's dust everywhere. We need to get all the plates out. Everything needs to be dusted. We're still waiting on some of they hung some of the pictures, but they didn't hang them all back up. There's still a couple of fire extinguishers that need to be hung up. So I'm assuming since that hasn't happened, we don't have an inspection from the fire department. We're also missing one light cover in the great room, and they were going to put up, kind of those fabric covered things on the ceiling at the great room because it echoes a lot. And we need to get that done. I don't know if we need to get that done before we open, but I mean, I go in there and talk to myself because there's nobody here. And at least somebody's talking back.
Sad.
Quite an echo. So I just think, if we have two things going on a Wednesday, bingo and mahjong, it's going to be very noisy and hard for people to hear. I don't have a timeline from them. I'm hoping what they meet in 2 weeks from today. Maybe they have to vote on a cleaning company. But still some work to be done. It seems, I haven't seen anybody here in the past. Well, I haven't been here in a week since I was on vacation, but I'm down here every day and nobody's down here doing anything. So I'm not sure what's going on. But I'm hoping we will open soon because it's no fun being here by myself.
Hey, Laura, I'm sorry. What did you say about it being really noisy? Why is it noisy?
The
'Cause there's no-
great room, the tiles that were on the ceiling previously
Right.
were like
Soundproof.
noise abated.
Yeah.
Sound bounced off them. This is sheetrock.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So it's extremely noisy. But John Stover said, if you when you go into, like Maya Comment restaurant, they have those fabric things on the ceiling that are
Right.
supposed to absorb the sound because the sound has nowhere to go. So it bounces back.
Well, would it be worth, and also you can put those panels under the tables
Oh,
and that also mutes it because we used to do it in my restaurant,
Yeah.
but
our only problem with those tables is that we close them up all the time and the legs have to attach. So
right, but you
better
can
than I
still,
do.
you can still
you can still do it.
will do that. But yeah,
Oh.
but because that's gonna be a killer. if
It
it's
is.
like that. I mean, it was loud before,
Yeah.
and you don't want to put rugs down.
No, we just have the
Oh.
floors done.
I know.
Brand new floors. So unfortunately, we're waiting for this little nitpicky stuff to get done. And my assumption is that they have to, I guess, vote on all of this, hopefully at their next meeting in 2 weeks and get it done. But it doesn't seem like much is kind of going on. So I do not have a date, Mary Ann.
Okay, so, well, it is what it is, right?
It is.
And
On,
I
Too
realized,
soon.
I
I'm
realized,
bored.
I skipped over your report as well as Jericho's in my rush to get to the walking challenge. So I wonder I know you sent out a report in advance, Laura. So if there are any other questions or comments for Laura about what's going on in the salt marsh, now is a good time. Oh, good job.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
And just on my side from the salt marsh thing, I'm ready to open basically as soon as that clean gets done. Although I am expecting case numbers to go up a bit right after this holiday, so there's a potential that it closes down again for a week.
We're
or
not
two.
going to be open. They're not going to
No.
clean before 2 weeks after vacation.
Yeah, so then it should be open. Like I'm not anticipating it closing again for COVID reasons past this break. So it should be smooth-ish sailing on that front.
Jericho, is there anything else that you want to update us on related to human services?
We are going to be hopefully in the next few days to a week be launching the Network of Care site started by Taylor Hilst, actually, 2 years ago. Basically, it's a directory. It's the phone book for any human services organization. We're going to be launching it under the AC Cares motto, and it'll be a one-shop spot for any listing for any kind of governmental or nonprofit assistance for anything from food assistance down to the hours at Fairwinds and links to get you connected to counselors or state resources, that sort of thing. Other than that, no, there's not a whole lot going on. The town is probably going to start wrapping up its in-house vaccine clinics, and we'll be doing once or twice a month state vaccinations or sorry, clinics run by state nurses that we're going to contract to come down. So as we start getting into the spring, the pre-summer months, I'm expecting them to recommend another set of boosters for everyone and leading into that. So that will be your source for boosters. If you're an at-risk individual, will either be contacting me or the state clinics coming once to twice a month. Other than that, nothing really.
Are there any questions or comments for Jericho? Thank you, Jericho. Appreciate it. Well, that's everything on our agenda today, and unless anybody has any final comments or questions. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your attendance and participation. Thank you again.
I move
Thank
that we
you.
adjourn.
Thank you.
Jericho, can I ask you one quick question? Have you heard any indication that they may be lifting the indoor masking at some point?
There is no indoor masking law. There has not been an indoor masking law, or indoor masking mandate since the November Board of Health meeting. The only thing that exists right now is an indoor mask advisory. My personal feeling is if you are in a indoor space for any period longer than 30 seconds that has high public traffic, you should be wearing a mask. But there is no requirement for anyone to wear a mask anywhere on Nantucket. That is not by the establishment that you're going into.
Okay.
And so what about the Salt Marsh, Jericho, when we reopen?
I am going to hold on to masks as mandatory there for as long as I possibly can. We have at least 2 spikes coming and probably some significantly higher background count transmission once the summer population shows up. So there's going to be masks there because it's an at-risk population, basically until you guys beat me up.
So therefore, when we open, we will be open to the public with masks on to do afternoon activities, but we'll still not be having fitness classes open to the public. We'll be Zooming those probably throughout the summer.
Most likely. If there is any indication that we're missing out on people for that, I might change my mind on that. Like
We're
if there
already missing out on people. We have a whole.
So there's a whole class that doesn't do like so.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry,
Hannah's
last time we spoke, you said that you were seeing more people participating and that no one really had a problem.
Well,
with
it's
that.
just that one class that Hannah does. She does the non-impact aerobics class. She needs to have the floor. They can't do it with masks on. It has to do with music, and the music doesn't go through Zoom well. So she just reached out to me and wanted to know what the prognosis was. So
we can work something out for her particular class if necessary. You can check me an email about that after this.
okay, we'll touch.
Nobody wears a
Or
mask
chat.
over here. It's amazing. None.
I mean, most people are not masking, and
I mask, no matter if I'm in a building, I don't care what building, I mask. I don't
just-
care.
I mask too, but it's just amazing how many people, I mean, I don't mask at workout, but.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
take it.
definitely get that everybody's over it. I've been over it like 7 times now. I've
I
gone all
know,
the way
right?
back around, but
Well-
I think we got 2, maybe 3 months left of higher risk, and then I'm hoping we're going to see a calm down afterwards. And if I can keep there from being any more exposures in the salt marsh in that time, I'm going to do it. It's just it's too at risk of a population.
I'm wondering if Hannah cannot do her class outdoors at another location, like Children's Beach.
We had, Laura, we were batting this idea around, and we were trying to look at nature walks too. And I think some of the walk stuff took off, but Laura, you can go into the detail on that.
I reached out to the community school about that, and they gave me a couple places, that were town land. But Hannah really needs a floor because, they do it in bare feet. It can't really be done on a lawn, or a soccer field or, and then there was no shade, which was important. So it just seems that we just couldn't figure out how to make it work. She wanted outdoors. I looked into it, and then she and her class decided that it wasn't something they were really that interested in doing.
Jetty's Beach Bandstand?
Yeah, but I mean, they're doing it in bare feet and it's wood, so there's splinters. There's just not, we need a dance floor that we can put out on Francis Street Beach, and that's what we need. Let's invest in a dance floor.
We just got to we have to figure out a COVID angle, and yeah, we're good.
Right, exactly. So if anybody has any great suggestions. And so then I guess I'll bring that up with you, Jericho. Never mind. Okay.
Are there any other comments before I ask for a second to adjourn the meeting? Your last chance.
Excuse me, who made the motion?
Kendra.
Adjourn? Okay, I'll second. I'll second.
Okay, I'm going to go down the list for approval to adjourn the meeting. Diane,
Yes.
Kendra,
Yes.
Jude,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Linda,
Yep.
Marianne, yes. Thank you
Thank
again,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Okay, see you next month.
Thank you.